I'm just going to leave this here. Have you ever been in an accident that resulted in your death? This is Bob. This is Republican lawmaker Bob Brooks. Bob is wearing an N95 mask, the piece of protective equipment that frontline healthcare workers who are risking their lives don't have. Bob is taking a photo op as he votes to reopen Pennsylvania's economy in the middle of a pandemic. The dumbass even put his mask on upside down. I challenge anyone to find a more compelling image of today's depraved elites. Imagine that. Imagine being Bill Gates right now. You spend 30 years of your life and $50 billion of your own dollars supporting humanitarian causes. You directly save hundreds of thousands of lives in Southeast Asia by providing anti-malaria netting to half of a continent. You drop infant mortality rates throughout the entire developing world by funding vaccine programs including vaccinating 40 million children for polio, and amongst a plethora of philanthropic endeavors. You fund free educational platforms like Khan Academy so people can have free access to high quality education. Then after donating half of your wealth to charity and pledging 90% of the remainder to charity in your will, arguably doing more to better life on earth for humanity than any other human being to ever live, you hop on the internet only to find a million scientifically illiterate fucking imbeciles that are using the very computers you pretty much invented in the first place to call you a child murdering archvillain. Antichrist because they watched a YouTube video made by some other yokel with the comprehension of a fucking potato. Yes, because a black police officer would have been a far-fetched concept to some people. I'm a black cop on the scene of a shooting one night, using a flashlight to look for bullet casings between houses to collect as evidence. Dispatch gets a call of a suspicious looking black male in police clothes using a flashlight to look into people's houses. #living while black. Did she look at the picture at all? This is not social distancing, unless you all live together, which I doubt. Rudy Giuliani is a moron. Why did the US NIH in 2017 give $3.7 million to the Wuhan lab in China? Such grants were prohibited in 2014. Did President Obama grant an exception? Why don't you ask Trump? He was president in 2017. Guess what, they were prohibited in 2014 by Barack Obama. Way to cell phone. Imagine how he feels right now. What color should I paint my wheels for the strip this year? Why didn't you just take the fucking wheels off? Somebody call a doctor. Sometimes a gif is worth 1,000 words. Unfortunately predictable. Breaking news. At least 75 protesters tested positive for COVID-19 after attending a large rally against the stay-at-home order in Wisconsin. We all need R15. Why do I need an R15? Because someday the government may tell me I'm not allowed to put my sick son on a plane and fly him to Italy for treatment. And believe me when I tell you I will be putting him on that plane. #Alfie Evans. I need an R15 in case I need to hijack a plane to fly my son to a country with socialized healthcare, is currently my favorite take on gun ownership. March 12th. Gov DeWine said in 24 days there could be 1.6 million infected Ohioans and an assumed 40,000 dead. April 6th. There were fewer than 5,000 known cases and less than 200 Ohioans who had succumbed to COVID-19. The data was not just flawed, but perhaps even preposterous. The doctor said, if I didn't take my medicine the infection would spread through my body and kill me. But I took my medicine and now I'm not dead. I'm starting to think my doctor is an idiot. I'm still alive, and they said I would die. Americans? This pandemic has shown clearly that Americans are the most brainwashed people on earth. Not only do half of us literally not believe in science, but now people think freedom is intentionally not wearing a mask to help a disease spread faster, valuing shopping over life. What? Seriously, I don't ever want to hear about how North Korea or whoever brainwashes their citizens again. IACN guarantee our internal propaganda is far more pervasive and powerful, and the average American believes more falsehoods than anyone else. North Koreans might be willing to sacrifice their lives for their glorious leader, but Americans are apparently willing to sacrifice their lives for like Dairy Queen to stay open. The willful ignorance of some people is astounding. He wasn't talking about cleaning supplies, you libtards. Anything that makes him the bad guy. I mean, do y'all all have hearing issues or just hear what you want to hear? And I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute. And is there a way we can do that by injection inside, as almost a cleaning? Cause you see, COVID gets in the lungs, and it does a tremendous number on the lungs, and it'd be interesting to check that. It sounds interesting. You sound like an idiot. Actually, since I transcribed what he said, I guess you agree with me that his whole statement was idiotic. Someone thinks that you get beer from the iBeer app. Scam *****. Hi, I like magic apps, but this one gets the cake. So here's my story. I was searching on my sister's tablet for a magic app, and then I found this one. I wanted to download it, but it said that I couldn't download this app on the tablet. So then I got it on my phone and I could get the app. So I got it, and I was so excited to drink some beer. So I opened my mouth and tilted my phone, but then it turned out it was a scam. Please update this game, or I will delete it right away. Thank you. Developer response: I'm so sorry that no real beer comes out of your device. You may want to soak it in the sink overnight to unclog the beer nozzle. Cheers. The fact that people need these warnings. Please do not inject anything into your body or ingest anything at all to kill the coronavirus. There is no substance that will disinfect your body of the coronavirus from the inside. Don't inject or drink bleach, soap. Don't do isopropyl alcohol, Lysol, or anything whatsoever. Anti-vaxxers will say anything to scare people. Fake news has been circulating on social media that the first volunteer in the Oxford vaccine trial has died. This is not true. I spent several minutes this morning chatting with Elisa Granato via Skype. She is very much alive and told me she is feeling absolutely fine. My 29F boyfriend, 29 male, keeps getting into fights with a cook at Waffle House. I know this sounds really weird, but here it is. My BF and I have been together for 3 years. We met and started dating when we were both in graduate school, but I dropped out to go back to college to pursue a different career. We are both finished now and live together, making a fairly nice combined income. Our income is relevant because we could afford to eat somewhere nice when we are out and about, but he always wants breakfast food. When he was a child, his dad couldn't stand eating breakfast type food in the afternoon or evenings, so his mom would make him waffles/pancakes, eggs, and bacon in the evening whenever his dad was busy or out of town. It's a wonderful and safe memory for him, and when he goes to his happy place, he says that's where he always goes. My BF is an incredibly nice and caring person. He's emotionally tuned into everyone and recognizes arising issues a long time before they occur. He loves animals and is kind and gentle with every bug, bird, and pet that he comes across. He's almost always willing to turn the other cheek in social situations where somebody tries to insult him or get aggressive towards him, and usually winds up defusing the situation and having a productive discussion about whatever the issue was. Except at Waffle House. Anytime we are out, he wants to go to the same goddamn Waffle House and get breakfast food. I'm not a big eater, so I used to not really care. I would just drink coffee and read my book while he enjoyed his food. But that became impossible once he and this one cook started chirping at each other every time we went there. BF complained about his eggs one time because he likes them a little runny and they were served hard. The cook responded by giving him scrambled eggs. When he brought it up again, the cook served him 2 hard-boiled eggs. I think it was just part of the cook's shtick, and it was kind of funny tbh, but my BF wasn't able to laugh it off. When we left, he was in kind of a bad mood, but we didn't really talk about it. The next week we were out getting some shopping done, and he wanted to go to Waffle House again. I suggested that we try out a different place, or at least a different Waffle House location, but he only wanted the same Waffle House. We went in and sat down, and once again the same cook served his eggs wrong. My BF sort of snapped at him that he wasn't interested in messing around and just wanted the correct eggs. The cook then served him a piece of toast with a hole cut out in the middle with a fried egg in it. My BF got really mad and threw the egg toast at the cook, which made the cook come around from behind the bar and throw it back at him. They ended up sort of wrestling/fighting until my BF was like, this is bullshit, and walked out. Nobody got hurt, but the few other people in there were watching and laughing a bit. This is the crazy part. My BF keeps going back and ordering eggs and getting into fist fights with the same cook. It's almost a ritual at this point. My BF orders runny eggs, the cook serves him some other version of eggs, and then they beat the shit out of each other. I quit going with him after the second fight, but he kept going by himself. They're like Peter and the giant chicken from Family Guy. It's the weirdest thing. They physically fought like 6 or 7 times over this. I've tried to talk to him about it a few times, but he keeps saying it's a matter of principle. I've told him to talk to the manager or something like that, but he just waves me off. Apparently that cook hasn't yet made him the correct runny eggs, but it's like he spends the week learning new ways of preparing eggs to piss my boyfriend off. The thing is, we are getting married this summer. He's accepted a job in a new city and it'll be easy for me to find work after the wedding, so we'll be moving away from his sworn enemy Waffle House guy. He hasn't really been out since quarantine started, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's the first place he goes when restaurants open back up for sitting customers. But my main worry is this strange vindictive side of him I've never seen before that leads him to fight the same guy every week. The violence itself is an issue for me, but the obsession over it almost bothers me more. Should I be worried that this side of him will come up later in our marriage? How do I get him to open up about this? Is this type of obsession a choice, or is it indicative of something deeper?